So on Tuesday, we had graduation rehearsal, and then the students had senior dinner, and then they went off to Disneyland, and here we are today. And at graduation rehearsal, I kind of let them in on the flow of the day for this graduation ceremony. And it's supposed to start off a little serious, right? Heartfelt, where they're having emotions of goodbye and maybe a little sadness, but it's supposed to end like a party, okay? So can you go with me from serious to party, please, okay? So let's first of all do a little party. Let's congratulate them. Congratulations, class. There we go. That's it. All right. You got it. Good job. What a great year. Today we celebrate a moment you have worked for, graduates, hard for a long time. You've been envisioning this for a while, and now it's a reality. We pause to let this critical moment sink in, to form your journey. We are grateful to God, excited about the future, and yes, sad to close this chapter of your lives. You've made it, and we're so proud of you. I think we said that 100 times the last couple of days, but it's true. We're very proud of you. As much as this is the finish line, it is also a threshold, a gateway into what's next, into adulthood, into calling, into lifelong pursuit of truth, beauty, and goodness. And it's that journey, not just what you'll do, but who you'll become and who you follow, that I want to talk about today. In a world filled with instability, anxiety, and noise, what does it mean to move forward with hope? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the 11th Annual Southern Christian Leadership Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, on August 16, 1967, gave a speech called, "Where Do We Go From Here?" And in it he said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Infinite hope. What is infinite hope? It's not wishful thinking. Infinite hope is not limited by circumstances. Finite hope can be lost. Infinite hope lasts forever. It renews itself. It is a hope rooted in reality, one that expects disappointment, yet refuses to despair. It is a hope rooted in truth, yet pointing to something more. It points to the eternal, a personal God with a plan and a purpose for our lives. A hope that overcomes, a hope that brings vision and purpose, a hope that fosters courage over fear. When culture is racked by anxiety, fear, lack of direction and meaning, eternal hope is an invaluable resource for a life of abundance. Let me say, eternal hope is the resource for a life of abundance. Hope doesn't deny hardship, it defies it. It looks beyond what's temporary, a closed door, a hard semester, a setback, and it sets its eyes on what is eternal. And that's what gives it power. Real hope doesn't just help you deal with hard circumstances, it helps you build a life of vision, meaning, and purpose. It develops courage and boldness. Eternal hope is a gift centered in God. I love what C.S. Lewis wrote in Mere Christianity on the topic of hope. He said, "If you read history, you will find that Christians who did most for this world were those who thought most about the next world. The apostles themselves, who set on foot the conversion of the Roman Empire, the great men who built the Middle Ages, the English evangelicals that abolished the slave trade, all left their mark on earth precisely because their minds were occupied with heaven." In other words, the best way to be fully present in this world is to live with a vision of the next. Hope isn't a retreat from reality, it's what empowers you to engage it. This brings me to something Mr. Roberson said just 2 nights ago at the senior dinner, something that bears repeating, and I encourage you to carry it with you. He said, "We aren't accountable merely to an idea, but to a person. That's profound because the person you are becoming and the person you are responsible to isn't just you, it's your neighbor, your classmate, your teacher, your parent, and ultimately, God. We are beautifully connected. We don't view people simply as individuals with preferences and personalities. Others are not to be tolerated, but they're to be cherished. Why are they to be cherished? Because we see them not as what they are, we see them as what they are: valuable, dignified, immortal image bearers of the living God. If that's true, and it is, then your growth, graduates, your flourishing, parents, your calling aren't just about independence or dependence. It's about interdependence. You are responsible to others, your community, your ancestors, history, and most importantly, you're responsible to God. Those responsibilities and connections are not obstacles that weigh you down. They are not burdens to manage or obligations to resent. As Mr. Roberson let us know, they are great gifts, these connections, these responsibilities. Too often we think of accountability and connection in negative terms, as rules or constraints, but connection isn't a cage. Accountability and connection actually provide freedom. They are gifts to be opened and used. When we receive a gift like connection, we don't leave it and set it aside. We open it, we marvel at it, and we play with it. Imagine opening your gifts on Christmas morning and then just walking away from those gifts. We don't walk away from gifts. Gifts are meant to be incorporated into our lives. Connection is the way God designed things. In Genesis, God looked at the first human being alone and said, "It is not good for man to be alone." We were designed for relationship from the beginning. Class of 2025. I wish I could see you right now, but there you are, class of 2025. Build a team around you, rooted in love, trust, accountability, and purpose. My college roommates and best friends have been gathering together weekly for friendship, encouragement, laughter, and prayer, weekly for 36 straight years. The connection is intentional and life-changing. We point each other in the right direction. We celebrate together. We pursue infinite, eternal hope together. We point to something bigger than ourselves. We are there for graduations and births and funerals and all the ordinary things. We waste time together and live life together. Through connection and accountability and eternal hope, we are building meaningful lives of purpose and joy, handed down to us from the past and meant to be passed down to future generations that we are accountable toward. A recent demographic study in Western Europe found an increasing percentage of Europeans dying alone, without families and friends. They're unconnected and unaccountable. In 2018, the UK appointed a minister of loneliness. In Sweden, 50% of households consist of one person. God has given us an antidote to this epidemic of disconnection and loneliness, and it's Himself. In Him, we are never alone. If you look up the word alone in the heavenly dictionary, you won't find it. It's not there because the concept of loneliness does not exist in heaven. He has given us Himself. He has given us each other. What a gift. The more you embrace inner dependence, the more you flourish. You'll gain wisdom, insight, support, and perspective. People to fall back on and walk forward with. People to count on all the time. You can do a lot alone, but you can do far more and go much farther when you stay connected to God and to others. F1 race car drivers are not solo. They drive alone, but they are tightly connected. They have 30 crew-side, track-side members involved in their races. So one driver, 30 crew, helping them get around that track. Ferrari has 1,200 employees standing behind one driver. If F1 has a team and can build community, so can We can build community in a society that's fracturing and focused on independence. Hope and connection are something to grab hold of and embrace. Graduates, parents, grandparents, and friends, make hope your life's work, and the rest will follow. Make connection your life's work, and the rest will follow. Hope and connection do not come in a material thing or an idea or a dream, but they are rooted in a person, the person of Jesus Christ. Staying connected won't be easy. We are by nature wanderers. Life is busy, change is constant, and we drift towards disconnection all the time. Staying rooted will take connection and intention, a choice to build consistent networks that fuels your soul and reminds you of who you are. Class of 2025, who is your crew? How are you building a network that can give you infinite, eternal hope? And it starts here with your family and friends. It starts here with classmates. You already have connection. Be intentional from now on to build it, to keep it, to cherish it. You have a head start with all these people in the room. Let me tell you a story, one of my favorites, about my daughter, Lindsay, when she left for college. It proves the point about connection. Before she moved out for college, we sat down, as many of you will do this summer with your graduates, and had a talk about the ground rules of college life and how we would relate to one another. And I said, Lindsay, how often should we text, right? And she said, well, maybe once a month. And I said, once a month. I was horrified inwardly, but I played it cool. Once a month, got it. I'm good. Well, the day came. We moved her into her dorm. You'll do that soon. Ran to Target, grabbed lunch, took a tour around campus, had a bite for dinner, and finally, and by the way, with my son, it was like 2 minutes, right? With my daughter, it was all day, a little different. We said goodbye, we hugged, we cried a little, and drove away. 60 seconds into our drive, the phone rang. Lindsay, barely able to speak through her tears, said, Dad, you can text me whenever you want. And since that day, I've texted her probably far too much. And I asked my kids, I say, do I text you too much? They go, you do, but don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. And so I will never stop texting and calling, visiting, annoying them. She knew, she felt it, and so do all of you. You know what that kind of connection means. You know what that kind of history means, the connection and responsibility. So class of 2025, stay connected, work hard at it. Don't let the pace of life keep you from the people who have shaped you, who know you, and who will never stop loving you. So I leave you with this. Let your ambition be rooted in calling, not comparison. Let your confidence be shaped by grace, not perfection. And let your hope be eternal, because that kind of hope doesn't run dry. It is the fuel for life now and forever. You are leaving this place not just with knowledge, but with purpose. Not just with a diploma, but with direction. Wherever you go, go with vision. Not just a vision for your future, but for eternity and for one another. Congratulations, class of 2025. You are ready to flourish in this life and in light of the life to come. Know that you are a Pacifican and will always be a Pacifican. We love you and we will miss you. Congratulations, and God bless you as you pursue infinite hope that will change your life. Thank you.